Thanks guys, welcome to Scottsdale, Arizona and the brand new Mercedes-Benz CLA. This is the car that changed the age dynamic for Mercedes-Benz and created a younger, more dynamic buyer. And for this year, there's a new CLA, even in yellow.
The CLA has been around for 6 years. It was the first front-wheel drive Mercedes-Benz in the USA. Before the CLA, Mercedes had a problem. Their audience was getting older, and the CLA was created to show that Mercedes was no longer a car that your wealthy uncle drove. It was for a younger, more dynamic buyer. If you go to the Mercedes-Benz website, this car is not listed under sedans. Mercedes call it a coupe, even though it has 4 doors.
One of the modern things in design of a vehicle is a sloping coupe-like roof. Now, Mercedes-Benz are leading this forward with the CLA. The cool thing is, on the inside, the headroom isn't massively compromised.
There are 4 different configurations of the Mercedes-Benz CLA, a 250 in front-wheel drive or a 250 4MATIC, which is what Mercedes call their all-wheel drive, an AMG 35 and an AMG 45. 2 different AMG models, but they all get one very cool feature.
One of the features of the new CLA is something called frameless doors. Where you'd normally have a frame, it's missing, and you don't pay any extra for that.
The new CLA is packed with safety, as you'd expect from one of the world's top car makers. But it thinks, so you don't have to. The new CLA has route-based speed adaptation. The car looks at the map and the road ahead and can adjust the speed in anticipatory mode, so you don't approach a toll booth, exits, curves, or roundabouts too fast.
Now, the first time we saw the CLA 35 was at the New York Auto Show this year, and it's the first 35 that AMG have had in the CLA class. Now, we've had a 45 in the last generation, but what does the 35 give you? Well, it gives you a 4-cylinder, which is hand-built in Germany. We're very used to AMGs being hand-built 6s or hand-built 8-cylinder vehicles, but it does have some of those nice AMG characteristics that we like. But it has a very nice performance car feel. The price is fairly hefty, but at the same time, it kind of gives you that feeling of what performance cars used to be. Small, easy to handle, and a little bit rough around the corners, but exciting to drive.
It's often hard not to speed when you're driving a car that's so much fun, but Mercedes have thought of that. They've added Active Speed Limit Assist, which automatically adapts the vehicle's speed to identify speed limits in conjunction with the embedded navigation. This may help you avoid getting a speeding ticket. So why should you consider the AMG 35 or 45 instead of the regular CLA?
So what do you get out of the CLA 35 that you don't get out of the regular CLA? Well, there's lots of enhancements to this vehicle. Of course, there's the engine, which is hand-built. Of course, there is bigger screens, a lot more tech on the inside, gesture control. The vehicle looks better, but it also gives you prowess of owning an AMG. It's not hard to get an AMG over $100,000, but this one does start just around $47,000, and that's not cheap if you want a performance car. They're going to have competition from Audi, who are expected to bring out a new RS3 sometime in the future, and BMW, who are bringing out their new 2 Series coupe performance vehicles. So will this be the winner in the class? Sales figures will eventually tell us.
Mercedes are now keeping more customers than any other brand. 65% of all CLA buyers return to Mercedes for their next vehicle.
The brand new CLA starts at just under $37,000. I'm Nik Miles.